Hi, my name is Sane Monroy and I'm from the Crow and Northern Cheyenne tribes. My birth name is Bia Bachelish, which means fortunate woman. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm a two-spirited woman. I am honored to have interviewed two-spirited people in Montana for my project. I asked them a series of 3 questions regarding their experience and what two-spirit means to them. Here are their answers. Enjoy.
My name is Dr. Cheryl Birdhat Polachek, but my Indian name is Akbaj Malaja. And what that name means is someone or the one who will keep counting until the last moon or to the last sun. My pronouns are she, her, anything related to she and her. I identify as two-spirit. I identify as gay.
Nisoyo nahashibe na wopomitani nahasta nabuwomatsu. Good afternoon. My name is Zona Tang. My Cheyenne name is 20 Stands Woman. I'm a citizen of the Northern Cheyenne Nation. My pronouns are she and her. As a Cheyenne person, I don't separate myself from my community. I'm a part of it. So we're just women. They would be called the Imani, that's because I have a wife.
Hello, my name is Sharani Jo Horace. I'm from the Oglala Lakota Nation. My Cheyenne name is Daywoman, which is Ishevat, and my Lakota name is Mambli Wakon, is Holy Eagle Woman. My pronouns are she and her. Our tribe didn't separate themselves like in a separate group, but I would prefer the term lesbian.
I think the number is just something to help us understand two spirits, generally the feminine and the masculine, a person's soul, a person's character, a person's fibers on the inside are for lack of a better non-scientific word, are molecular, who we are to everything down to the intangible. Because I can only feel me, I can only know me. So to me, it's like, how do I identify, or how do I feel? Like, what do I feel like my soul is? Well, I feel like it's Cheryl.
In regards to the term two-spirit, there's a big cultural aspect of this identity. It's not just based on sex or gender. It's based on your role in society and how you contribute your gifts to other people in your community. It's something that Indigenous people and youth can identify themselves in a cultural context rather than sexual orientation, sexual identity, or even gender identity.
It's kind of a pan term. It has become a term that everyone is picking up because they're relating to it. Everyone is trying to hold on to whatever identity we have left after all of the historic trauma that all Natives went through. But again, we have to be careful about using terms that are pan because we forget about that we are all different in our culture. I would say it has a huge impact. In the past, it was very difficult. I am a lesbian in Western civilization. I'm brown and I'm a woman. So those are the kind of things that I always think about. Comes with every decision, even to like the little things like one going out just because of the open hatred amongst the community that people are putting themselves in.
It's just how I am naturally in that self-actualization rather than, put myself in a box and try to meet these descriptors of how I should be, is more of like a blank book, not even with lines, because I'd rather draw than write.
If I didn't grow up knowing that I was different, at 4 years old, getting in trouble or experiencing shame multiple times as a child, struggling often with my own identity. And when I finally sort of accepted that, I was angry that I hadn't grasped and acknowledged and accepted and celebrated that identity younger.
And I've been told multiple times by Christians that I'm an abomination. I don't dress very feminine. And that's because I'm scared. If I have to fight, I have to be able to have my full swing. But that's something that I've always done since I was a young child. I don't want to be a statistic, a negative statistic anyway,
If I didn't have those experiences, knowing that ultimately was my identity, I don't think that there's any way that I would have fought so hard and pushed so hard through everything that I've done, and not wanting people to tell me, you can't do this, you can't do this, you shouldn't do this. Being the first in my family to graduate from college, even just 2-year college, and then eventually 4-year college, and then eventually a master's, and eventually a PhD, just not wanting to be told that I can't do that or I shouldn't do that. I've always felt like I've naturally defended or wanted to defend something that didn't feel right. And I think that's been shaped by my identity.
For me, daily is like, prepare to die, but also remember you're there empowering other people.
I know that on reservations that unfortunately we have a lot of lateral oppression. So there are a lot of border towns and there are a lot of non-native communities that step on Indians and have horrible, bias towards them, prejudice, stereotypes, racism. And so people start to get stepped on so much. And unfortunately, they start to emulate behaviors that they're seeing and experiencing. So then they start looking to oppress others. And many times the recipients of that lateral oppression are people like myself, two-spirit people, gay, bisexual, trans, and that is not okay. We are all of the same ancestors. We are all here for the same thing, to be happy, to share in our communities, to continue our culture, our language, our traditions, and to move them forward into a current context, to become better educated and better prepared, to equip our children for a better future. And so the lateral oppression needs to stop.
You're not going to really know who you are right away. It's not going to come until you're older. The important rule is to always love yourself, because that's all you're going to have for the rest of your life.
A lot of times I think the only way that people are going to respect you is if you respect yourself.
Don't live in shame, okay? If you're living in shame and guilt, do something about it. Reach out. If you don't know where you're going, find out where you come from. If you don't like where you come from, then change where you're going. It's okay to talk about these things. They're sacred things and they should be talked about. Don't give up. Try again. If you're not failing, you're not trying your best. And that's all we got time for.
Ask as many questions you have. There's a lot of resources now, which we didn't have when we were younger, or even people to talk about it openly. About everything was just, quiet it down. So you guys have a lot more resources.